morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, family. I am Dr. Stanley Maposa. I've come again this morning to discuss with you critical subjects on leadership. Leadership lessons with Dr. Stanley Maposa. And I would like to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. I would like more and more of you to subscribe so that we can be able to access a number of other videos that I've made on leadership, and also to be able to share this particular platform with others and comment, and also get a notification so that each time we are online, you are able to join us. Today I'm going to be discussing a subject that I entitle Punctuality and Leadership. Punctuality and Leadership. We are told that there are three kinds of times. There is the time according to the watch. There is the time according to the sun and the shadows of the sun. There is also time according to where you are staying. There's something that's called time in Africa, and a lot of people have said this is African time. Other people have said there is no hurry in South Africa, there is no hurry in Africa, and therefore there is time that is associated with Africa. All those times people have been using over time, and many of us that are in the continent in Africa have been blamed for not keeping time, for not starting our activities in times, our meetings in time, and ending them in time. And many of us have also been defensive around the reason why we are not keeping time as black people in Africa. Maybe it's historic. I think in the historic past, people did not have devices that show time. They did not have watches. They did not have cell phones. They did not have alarms, and therefore time was measured by a number of things. As I've already indicated, people would look at the sun, people would also look at the shadows, how long they are, how tall they are, and they would use that to determine time. And maybe in meetings, communities were close to one another, and they would obviously measure the time of the meeting according to others. If they see others move to the meeting, then they would know that it's time for the meeting. Or if a cock crows, or if a particular bird crows or sings at night, they would know that now it's time to wake up. And maybe those methods were not as perfect as what we have now. We would just accept that that was happening at that particular time. But things have changed drastically over the years, and time is quite different, and people need to be able to adjust and begin to realize how important it is to be punctual, especially if you are a leader, if you are leading people, and you state that the meeting is going to start at this particular time, and you as a leader, you arrive late. I've seen politicians, I've seen church leaders who come late for meetings. Some politicians, they tell you that we will be addressing the rally at 11 o'clock, and all the people gather at 11 o'clock or somewhere around 11:30, and there you are. This politician arrives at 3 o'clock. The same applies also sometimes to the church. You find that the preacher arrives very late, and the choir has been singing. The master of ceremony has been trying to do a lot of other things to make sure that people don't get bored, bring people to testify, bring choirs to sing, bring drama groups to come and dramatize, waiting for this particular leader who will come very late, 2 hours late. And when they come, guess what they do? They start to sing their own song, they start to do their testimony, and in the process, the service that was supposed to end at 1 o'clock ends at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, despite what other people that were there in that meeting would be wanting to do with their time after the service, which was supposed to be ending at 1 o'clock. Well, there are many excuses that we have had of being late. There are many, many excuses that we have had. People speak, people say why they are late, and some of them are common for South Africa. For example, you'd hear somebody says, I was late because of traffic. I was caught up in traffic. I got stuck in traffic. And that's a common excuse. I'm not too sure whether this person would not have woke up early in order to understand that they will beat traffic. Or these days you have got cell phones, you have got Google, you have got maps that would show you where traffic is, so that you can be able to avoid and use other roads. We have also had an excuse that says, my alarm did not go out, my alarm did not go off, my alarm did not ring, in other words, and as a result I overslept, I couldn't wake up. I don't know whether you have one gadget in your house, you don't have other alarms in your house, the alarms for your wife, the alarm for your husband, the alarm for your children, that you can have used to set 2 alarms if you really needed to be in time. There is also another excuse that says, I had technical glitches, or I had technical issues, that's why I was late, especially in the days of online meetings. Online meetings, somebody joins late, somebody doesn't join in time for a technical meeting, for an online meeting on Zoom, and they say, I had technical issues. I'm not too sure whether it's an excuse that we can really frankly accept, because everyone has technical issues, and therefore if you were really maybe serious about that, you would have started trying to enter that meeting or do what you're supposed to do in time. Then the other one says, I lost track, or I forgot that I have a meeting. I forgot that there is a meeting, therefore I missed my time. Why would you forget that you have a meeting when we have Google Maps, we have got calendars, we have got a lot of other reminders that we can put to remind us of the meeting, so that your meetings do not clash and you are there on time and you don't forget. So those are some of the excuses that we hear again and again, time and again. We hear some of these excuses. We also have seen in invitations that people say the meeting is going to start 18:30 for 19:00. Actually, it means you are giving people an opportunity to be late. Why don't you say the meeting starts at 19 so that people come at 19? Because if you say it will start 18:30 for 19, actually you are meaning that it's going to start at 19:30. Let me just explain 2 events that are coming to my mind when I talk about punctuality for leaders. The first one was a birthday, a 50th birthday, which was supposed to start at 1400 hours, and it ended up starting at 1530 hours, including the person that was supposed to be celebrating the birthday themselves arrived at 15:30, and there were so many people that were waiting, including old women, old ladies that had come for this birthday to celebrate, and they were looking so hungry from 14:30 up to 13:30, more than an hour waiting, having nothing to eat, and the person just arrives that late and proceeds as though everything is normal. There was also a recording session for music. Where was it? It was in Ekurhuleni, which was supposed to be starting at 17 hours. And we get there, we find that there is somebody who's still recording their music. They're still busy with their music. And it means these assignments or these appointments were overlapping. The meeting then started at 1900 hours. It's 2 hours late. What that simply means is that we still have a culture, maybe as Africans, as black people, as leaders, not to respect time, and punctuality is still a crisis for us, it's still a problem for us. I ask a lot of people that since we want to be leaders, since we are leaders, since we want to lead the country, since we want to lead organizations, how are we going to be able to interact with international partners that are so strict with time? How are we going to lead in our different areas if we still struggle so much with time? The truth of the matter is that most of the excuses that I have already indicated of punctuality are simply that. They are just excuses. On the other hand, we deliver on time and we show up in time when things are important for us. When things are very, very important for us, the subject just changes and we become punctual when things are very, very important for us. So let me just address 4 things here that are very, very critical to punctuality and what punctuality communicates. When you are early, when you are punctual as a leader, you are sending a message. And what message are you sending? What 4 things are you sending as a leader when you come early, when you arrive early? The first thing is that punctuality communicates respect. So the opposite is true also. Lateness communicates disrespect. So punctuality communicates respect. When you show up on time, it communicates a mutual respect for others who have already dedicated their time to come early. I think I told you earlier about these old women that had come so early for the birthday. Very, very old women in their 80s. And the birthday boy or the birthday man arrives 1 hour 30 minutes late. So it shows that there is some element of disrespect. So if you come early, you respect others by showing up on time, and also it also communicates that you respect the time that others have given you. Why do I say that? It's because if you said you are going to start at 2 o'clock, somebody plans and says, okay, I can put another meeting at 4 o'clock, or I will go elsewhere at 5 o'clock after I've finished that first meeting. Now you are late, you come at 3:30, and therefore you are pushing the meeting beyond that 4 o'clock that the old lady had put herself for. So you are no longer respecting her time, because she had also told someone else that I finish meeting A and I go to meeting B, and therefore you are messing up their time. So when they begin to walk out and go, you say, now these people are not respecting me, my meeting is not finished, they are walking out. But you don't understand that you are the one who came late and you started your meeting late. There are many places where people should be. There are many things that people should be doing after your meeting. There are many things that people want to do, not your meeting alone. There are also transport issues. Imagine the example that I'm giving you. If the old ladies were using public transport and it's a Saturday, Saturday is not as busy as during the week, where there are a lot of people coming from work and there's so many taxis running up and down. And this meeting was in a faraway place where there is not normally public transport. Imagine now these old ladies finish up there at 7 o'clock and the transport is no longer available for them to go home. And you, the birthday boy, gets into your car and you go away as if nothing has gone wrong. So there is an element of respect. Each time leaders, we are punctual. The second thing, punctuality communicates importance. What is important to you, you make time for it. We show time, we show up in time when something is important for us. That's what I want to say. When is the last time when you were late for a movie, when you were late for a surgery, when you were late for a doctor's appointment, when you were late for a funeral? And above everything else, when you're late for an interview, I sit in a number of interviews. There are very, very few people that are late for interviews. Many people arrive 15 minutes early. Others arrive even 1 hour early. Why? Because this is something that is important for them. So in other words, when you are late for something, you are already communicating that this is not important. This is not important for you. And the people that are waiting for you in that meeting, you are communicating them, you are telling them indirectly that they are not important. So punctuality communicates to everyone in attendance that the event or the meeting or the project is important to me. When I'm late, it communicates a lack of importance to me and devalues other people, especially those that came early. So I've made my point that you are making a statement that this meeting is important. So you can watch some people that are perennially late during the times when they are doing things that are important to them. They are the first to be there. They are the first to be there. Number 3, punctuality communicates integrity. Punctuality communicates integrity. When we read from the Word of God, Jesus said, let your yes be a yes, and let your no be on your no. Let your yes be a yes, and let your no be your no. Our word should be our bond. Our word should be our contract. When you say, I will be there at this particular time, let that be your contract. Let that be your bond. If we have to promise and swear to get people to believe that we are going to show up on time, then we do not have a great reputation or trustworthiness. So in other words, what that simply means is that if you promise people that I'm going to be there at 1 o'clock, and suddenly 1 o'clock has come and you are not there, then you are not trustworthy. Some integrity issues there are at stake. We should simply do what we say we are going to do. So in other words, punctuality is a matter of integrity. Punctuality is a matter of integrity. The 4th one is that punctuality communicates trustworthy. It's almost similar to integrity, but at another level. Trust is something that we earn. Trust is something that we build through our track record. When we constantly deliver and show up on time, we begin to gain people's trust. We begin to gain people's trust. If we are known that we are going to be late, then we know that people that are dealing with you are going to be late. And the reason why people have built the culture of lateness is because somebody comes early today and they find no one. The next morning, they are coming to the same meeting, they will be late. They'll say, no, I can't be early there because they are always late. And in the process, everybody then builds a culture of lateness. Just this weekend, I went to a church somewhere, and the church was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. I get there, I find the pastor still going to buy some groceries somewhere. Still going to buy some groceries somewhere. And I meet him by the gate, says, oh, you are here. It was 10 o'clock. Oh, you are here. Oh, believers start late. And the believers really started late. They came at 11, I think 12 o'clock. And it's a culture that has been built through how we speak, through how we expect people to behave. I believe that if the time has come and it's a church service, even if we are 3, let's get started. Let's get started. Even if it's a meeting at work, even if we are 3 and the others have not come, let's get started. Those that come late will join us late, or they will find the meeting finished. And when they find the meeting finished, they'll know that next time we don't wait for them. We don't wait for them, we get started. And that's exactly what we need to be doing. So here is what being late communicates in leadership. Let me give you some other 4 points about what lateness communicates in leadership. The leader, number one, does not value the people's time. It is all about them. It is all about their leader. So if you are late and you are a leader in particular, you are saying to people, I don't value your time, I don't value you, it is all about me. The second thing, you are saying to the people as a leader when you are late, your schedule is more important than anyone else's schedule. The third thing that you are saying when you are a leader and when you are late and you are saying, communicating as a leader, is that being late is acceptable. Being late is a norm. Being late, you can also be late. You are communicating to people that they can also be late. You are leading by example, the example of lateness. And then the fourth thing is that the leader does not have his act together. If you are late, we see that there is something that is missing. You don't have your stuff together. Maybe you don't know what you are going to address in the meeting. Maybe you don't know what you are going to say to people, or whether you are still preparing for the meeting, or you are still reading for the meeting, or you are still studying for the meeting. So you don't have your act together. So we can trust you as a leader if you are late. What should you do then, as we conclude, in order for you to be able to manage your time? What should you do? I suggest three things and I close. Number one, if you are going to be late, do not be too late. If you are going to be late, do not be too late. That statement means a lot of things to different people. Too late in other cultures means 5 minutes. In other cultures means 30 minutes. In other cultures means 15 minutes. But what I'm trying to say is that if you are really going to be late and there's nothing you can do about your being late, don't be too late. Don't be 1 hour late. I gave you the examples of 1 hour. I gave you the examples of 2 hours. I gave you the examples of 3 hours. I gave you the examples of a church that starts at 9 o'clock and ends at 3 o'clock, without consideration that there are people that are traveling long distances. There are people that are going for an interview the following day, going for work the following day, preparing for school, for examinations the following day. And the church just goes on and on and on and on. And when people start to leave, they are insulted and rebuked that they are disrespecting. Yet it is the leader who is disrespected by coming late and therefore end late. So don't be too late if you are going to be late. Secondly, apologize. Apologize. If you are going to be late and you really can't handle it, when you come, please apologize. Please say, I am sorry that I am late, and take the responsibility for that. It is disrespect for people to wait for you as a leader, and you come, you just start the meeting as if nothing has happened, or you even delay them further when they have been waiting for you for so long. Some people missed primary school lessons or primary school time, because when we were in primary school, we were told that when you do anything rude, you must apologize. And therefore, being late is rude. You must be able to say, I apologize, I didn't make it in time, I'm a leader, I did lead wrongly, by wrong example. Research tells us that it is surprising that that simple apology will make a difference in a number of people that would be angry because you are late. Finally, explain why it was not your fault. Explain why it was not your fault. Apology is not enough. Sometimes you need to explain a little bit and say, I was late because of this, and be able to assure people that it cannot be able to happen again. When a group of people hears that a person is not bothered to apologize or to explain, they become more angry. But when you explain, they become less angry, because we all make We are all human at one point or another. We are not talking about the fact that there are people that are superhuman, that are never late. But I'm trying to say you need to be able to say these are the reasons that happened, and I do take apologies, I do take responsibilities, and I apologize, and so forth and so forth, without really making it look like it's business as usual. Yes, you are the boss. Yes, you are the leader. But it is sometimes important and polite to be able to say, I did not do this purposely, and I'm going to be able to try and make sure that next time things happen in time. Thank you very much. Remember that culture is often created by what we tolerate. The more we tolerate certain things, we then create a culture of lateness, a culture of lack of punctuality. And it should be addressed, especially among us as leaders. And I'm speaking to myself as well, as I speak to yourself. Let us be punctual, because people are punctual and people have other things to do besides your meeting or besides your event. May God bless you as you continue to lead God's people, as you continue to lead in the business space, in the civil society space, in the government space. I know I'm talking to someone today, and we shall be able to address this particular issue as leaders going forward. Thank you, thank you. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. And let us build future leaders together. Thank you.